Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another English learning podcast. I'm Victor.
And I'm Joyce. We're so happy you're here today. Maybe you're relaxing at home, walking outside, traveling to work, or practicing your English. Wherever you are, thanks for spending a little time with us.
If you're learning English, you're in the right place. Today's topic is something every single person experiences.
Really? Every single person?
I think so. Students, parents, teachers, office workers, even people who seem super successful.
I agree. No matter who you are, there are days when getting started feels difficult.
Exactly. Today we're talking about self-motivation.
I love this topic because self-motivation isn't about becoming a different person. Sometimes it's simply about taking one small step, even when you don't feel like it.
That reminds me of a question.
Uh-oh, should I be nervous?
Not at all. I want to ask you, and everyone listening, have you ever planned to do something important, opened your phone for just 5 minutes, and somehow 30 minutes disappeared?
Victor,
Yes.
are you asking me? Or are you confessing something?
Maybe a little of both.
Then, yes, I've definitely done that.
Me too. And I have a feeling many of our listeners are smiling right now because they've done exactly the same thing.
Don't worry if that's you. It happens to almost everyone.
It's funny, isn't it? We know what we should do, but sometimes we just don't do it.
And many people immediately think, I'm lazy, but that's not always true.
Then what is it?
Sometimes we're tired. Sometimes we're stressed. Sometimes the task feels so big that our brain says, let's do it later.
I've never looked at it that way before.
Most people are much kinder to their friends than they are to themselves.
That's true. If my friend said, I couldn't finish my work today, I'd probably say, it's okay, try again tomorrow.
Exactly. But when it's ourselves, we often say, I'm not good enough, or I never finish anything.
Ouch. That sounds familiar.
It does, doesn't it? The words we say to ourselves matter. Encouragement usually helps us grow. Constant criticism usually doesn't.
That's a really powerful thought. Actually, maybe today's lesson isn't just about motivation. Maybe it's also about learning to be a little kinder to ourselves.
I couldn't agree more.
Before we continue, think about this. What's one thing you've been putting off recently? Don't answer out loud. Just keep it in your mind while you listen.
By the end of today's conversation, maybe you'll feel ready to take that first small step.
Joyce, if someone asked you, what does self-motivation mean? How would you explain it in simple English?
I'd say self-motivation means encouraging yourself to do something, even when nobody reminds you.
That's simple, and I like it.
Imagine you're learning English. Nobody is giving you homework. Nobody is checking your notebook. Nobody is waiting for your answers. But you still practice because you know your future self will thank you.
I love that phrase, your future self. It makes me think about tomorrow instead of today.
Exactly. Sometimes the person you're helping is the person you'll become 6 months from now.
I've never thanked my future self before. Maybe I should start.
It's never too late.
You know, hearing all this reminds me of something I did last weekend.
Should I be worried?
Probably.
Go on.
I bought a brand new notebook.
Oh no, I know that look.
What look?
The This notebook is going to change my entire life. Look.
Okay, maybe you're right.
Let me guess. You wrote a long list of goals.
Not just a long list, a very ambitious list.
How ambitious?
12 goals.
12?
Yes,
For this month?
for one day.
Victor.
I know, I know. At that moment, it sounded like a brilliant idea.
And how many goals did you actually finish?
Do you want the honest answer, or the answer that makes me look impressive?
Definitely the honest one.
1.
Just one?
Well, if writing the list counts, then maybe 2.
I appreciate your creativity.
The strange thing is, the next morning I opened the notebook again, and instead of feeling excited, I felt stressed.
I think many people listening have experienced that exact feeling. Sometimes a plan becomes so big that it doesn't feel exciting anymore. It feels heavy.
Exactly. I looked at all 12 goals and thought, where do I even begin? So, I closed the notebook.
That's actually how our brain often works. When something feels too big, our brain looks for an easier option.
Like making another cup of coffee?
Or checking social media, or cleaning your desk, or doing almost anything except the important task.
That's surprisingly accurate. Suddenly, everything else feels urgent.
Exactly. It doesn't mean you're lazy, it simply means the first step feels too difficult.
So the problem wasn't the notebook.
No, the problem was trying to climb the whole mountain instead of taking the first step.
I like that image. One step, not 100.
Let me ask you something. If I asked you to climb 100 stairs right now, how would you feel?
Honestly, tired. And I haven't even started yet.
Me too. But what if I asked you to climb just one stair?
That sounds easy. Almost everyone can do one step.
Exactly. And that's how motivation usually begins. Not with giant plans, with one small action.
So instead of saying, I'm going to study English for 3 hours, I could simply say, I'm going to study for 10 minutes.
Perfect. And here's the surprising part. Once you've started, it's much easier to keep going.
That's happened to me before. I tell myself, just 5 minutes. Then, suddenly, half an hour has passed.
That's because starting is often the hardest part. After that, your brain says, well, we're already doing it.
I never realized motivation could work like that.
Most people don't. They think motivation comes first. Very often, action comes first. Then motivation follows.
That's a sentence worth remembering.
I think so too.
Joyce, you just used an important word.
Which one?
Goal.
Great choice. A goal is something you want to achieve in the future.
For example, my goal is to speak English confidently.
Or, my goal is to read one English book this year.
Here's a little challenge for everyone listening. Think of one goal you can actually finish today. Not this month, not next week. Today.
It could be learning 5 new English words, reading one page, or finally opening that notebook you've been avoiding.
I feel like that last example was directed at someone.
I didn't mention any names.
But somehow, I still feel attacked.
Maybe because you know exactly who I was talking about.
Fair enough. Tonight, I'm opening that notebook again. But this time, only 3 goals.
That's a much smarter plan. Because there's one mistake people make after setting a goal. and it's probably the biggest motivation killer of all.
Now I'm curious. What's that mistake?
We'll talk about that next.
All right, Joyce, you can't leave us waiting anymore. What's the biggest motivation killer?
It's expecting yourself to feel motivated every single day.
I think a lot of people believe that's how motivation works.
I used to believe that too. I thought successful people woke up every morning feeling excited and ready to work.
Don't they?
Not at all. They have lazy days, busy days, stressful days. The difference is, they don't stop just because they don't feel motivated.
That makes so much sense. Sometimes I wait until I feel ready.
And how long does that usually take?
Sometimes far too long.
You're definitely not alone. Many people spend more time waiting to feel motivated than actually starting.
That reminds me of learning English. There were days when I learned 10 new words, and there were other days when I could barely remember 2.
Did you ever think about giving up?
Honestly, yes. For a while I thought, maybe I'm just not good at languages.
I'm really glad you didn't stop. So, what changed?
One of my teachers asked me a simple question.
What was it?
He said, "Can you speak better today than you could 6 months ago?" I stopped and thought about it, and the answer was yes.
That's such a powerful question. Sometimes we don't notice our own progress because we see ourselves every single day.
Exactly. We notice every mistake, but we forget to notice every improvement.
That's why looking back is so important. Instead of asking, "Why am I not perfect yet?" try asking, "Am I better than I was before?"
I like that much more. It feels encouraging instead of discouraging.
We'd love you to do something with us right now. Think back 6 months. What's one thing you can do today that was difficult for you back then?
It doesn't have to be something big. Maybe you understand more English. Maybe you read faster. Maybe you're simply more confident than before.
Progress isn't always loud. Sometimes it's so quiet that we only notice it when we look back.
Wow. I think that's one of my favorite sentences today.
Speaking of progress, can I tell you something I started doing recently?
Of course.
At the end of every month, I write down one small thing I'm proud of.
Just one?
Just one. Sometimes it's, I exercised 3 times this week. Sometimes it's, I finished a book. Sometimes it's, I kept my promise to myself.
I really like that. Because we're usually very good at remembering our mistakes.
But not very good at remembering our progress.
Exactly. Maybe that's why success sometimes feels so far away.
Even though we're already moving toward it.
Joyce, you've said the word progress a few times.
Yes, it's a wonderful word.
What does it mean?
Progress means getting better, little by little. Not overnight. Step by step.
For example, I'm making progress in my English.
Exactly. And here's a useful tip. We usually say, make progress, not do progress.
Let's practice. She's making great progress.
Don't worry, you're making progress every day.
Those sound very natural.
And remember, small progress is still progress.
I think many people listening needed to hear that today.
I hope so. Because there's another word that's just as important as motivation.
Really? What word is that?
Consistency. And once you understand it, everything starts to change.
Consistency. I hear that word all the time. But what does it really mean?
It simply means doing something regularly. even if it's only a little at a time.
So if I study English for 15 minutes every day, that's consistency.
Exactly. Now compare that with studying for 6 hours on one day and then not studying again for 2 weeks.
I feel personally attacked again.
I had a feeling you might.
Sadly, I've done that more than once.
Most of us have. That's why consistency is more powerful than intensity.
I like that. Could you explain it with an example?
Imagine two people want to improve their English. The first studies for 10 minutes every day. The second studies for 5 hours, but only once a month.
I think I already know who's going to improve faster.
Exactly. Small daily actions usually beat big, irregular efforts.
That reminds me of something my grandfather used to say.
Oh, I always enjoy your grandfather's advice. What did he say?
He used to tell me, a little every day is better than a lot once in a while.
That's simple, but very wise.
I didn't really understand it when I was younger. Back then, I thought success came from doing something huge.
And now?
Now I realize he was talking about almost everything. Learning, saving money, exercise, reading, even relationships.
It's funny how simple advice makes more sense as we grow older.
Very true. Joyce, you noticed I said, my grandfather used to tell me. Can we explain that expression?
Absolutely. We use used to when we talk about something that was true in the past but isn't true now.
For example, I used to stay up late.
But now I go to bed much earlier.
Another example, I used to be afraid of speaking English.
But now I enjoy speaking it.
That's a sentence many of our listeners can probably relate to.
I hope so.
Joyce, can I ask you something a little personal?
Of course.
Have you ever failed at something?
More times than I can count.
Really?
Of course. Nobody succeeds all the time. Successful people don't let one failure decide their future.
That's comforting to hear. Sometimes social media makes it seem like everyone succeeds all the time.
That's because people usually share their victories, not their difficult days.
That's true. I don't think I've ever seen someone post, "Today I made 7 mistakes and forgot half my English vocabulary."
That would certainly be honest.
Maybe we should start that trend.
Maybe it would remind people that nobody is perfect. Think about one mistake you've made recently. Don't feel bad about it. Instead, ask yourself, what did this mistake teach me?
Sometimes the lesson is much more valuable than the mistake itself. You know, I have an update about my notebook.
I was wondering when we'd hear about it again. Go on.
Yesterday, I completed all 3 goals.
Really? That's fantastic.
And you know what surprised me?
What?
I didn't feel stressed anymore. I actually wanted to open the notebook again today.
Because this time, your goals felt possible.
Exactly. 3 realistic goals felt much better than 12 impossible ones.
And that's real motivation, not excitement, progress.
I think my notebook and I are finally becoming friends.
I'm happy to hear that. Because there's one more habit that quietly steals motivation from millions of people. And most of us don't even realize we're doing it.
Now you've got me curious again. What habit is it?
Comparing ourselves with everyone else. And that's exactly what we'll talk about next.
All right. So, what's the last habit that quietly steals our motivation?
Comparing ourselves with other people.
Ah, I think we've all done that.
More times than we'd like to admit. Especially today, when we spend so much time on social media.
That's true. You open your phone for just a few minutes, and suddenly it feels like everyone else is doing better than you.
Someone is traveling.
Someone got a promotion.
Someone is speaking perfect English.
Someone is exercising every morning.
And without realizing it, we start thinking, why am I not there yet?
I've asked myself that question before.
Me too. But then I remembered something important. We're comparing our everyday life with someone else's highlight reel.
Highlight reel. That's an interesting expression.
It means the best moments people choose to share. Most people don't post their difficult days, failures, or moments when they feel tired and discouraged.
That's so true. I've never seen someone post, "Today I made 5 mistakes and forgot half my English words."
Neither have I. Although, that would be refreshingly honest.
It definitely would. I remember when I first started learning English. I watched someone speaking fluently, and at first I felt inspired. But after a few minutes, I started thinking, I'll never speak like that.
That's a very common feeling. What happened next?
For a few days, I almost stopped practicing. Then one of my teachers asked me, "Can you speak better today than you could 6 months ago?" That one question completely changed my mindset.
Because the real competition isn't with someone else. It's with the person you were yesterday.
Joyce, earlier you used the expression highlight reel. Could you explain it one more time?
A highlight reel is a collection of someone's best moments. It doesn't show the whole story.
So when we compare ourselves to a highlight reel, we're making an unfair comparison.
Exactly.
Before we finish today's episode, we have a small challenge for you.
Tonight, take a notebook, or even your phone, and write down one thing you've improved this month.
It doesn't have to be something big. Maybe you learned 10 new English words. Maybe you're less afraid of speaking. Maybe you simply didn't give up.
Every small step matters, because progress grows quietly.
You know, when we started today's conversation, I thought motivation was something that simply appeared.
And now?
Now I think motivation is something we build, one small action at a time.
Today we learned that it's okay not to feel motivated every day. Small, consistent actions are stronger than perfect plans. Mistakes help us grow, and we shouldn't compare our lives with someone else's highlight reel.
And I have one last update.
About the notebook?
Of course. For the first time, my notebook doesn't make me feel guilty anymore. It reminds me that small steps are enough.
I think that's the perfect way to end today's conversation.
Before we say goodbye, we'd love to hear from you. What's one small goal you're going to start this week?
Tell us in the comments. We really do enjoy reading them. Your story might encourage another English learner.
If today's conversation helped you learn something new, or simply made you smile, please give this video a like. It helps us reach more learners around the world.
If you'd like to keep practicing English with us every week, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell.
Remember, small steps every single day.
Keep practicing.
Keep smiling,
Keep believing in yourself.
and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone.
Take care and happy learning.